Breaking news, Donald Trump just wrapping up a spontaneous press conference on his plane. Joining me now, Christopher Harmer, Institute for the Study of War, and the panel is back with us. Christopher, I want to talk to you because Donald Trump will be commander-in-chief. Now, that was focused, a lot of this conversation that he just had on his plane, with potential domestic terrorism. But what do you feel with respect to his very high in the polls? A lot of people believe he's the guy that could keep us safe.
Well, I'll tell you, so the Institute for the Study of War that I represent is strictly nonpartisan. These are my personal beliefs. I spent 20 years as an officer in the United States Navy. Before that, I was enlisted in the Marine Corps. There's literally nothing in my entire life that has prepared me for the concept of Donald Trump as Commander-in-Chief of the United States military. He is completely inappropriate for the position temperamentally. He gratuitously insults people who are far his superior in terms of their intellect and their understanding of these issues. Calling Bill Kristol an idiot just gives you an insight into how unprepared and unworthy Donald Trump is of the office he seeks. These are people who spent their lives studying the issues that Donald Trump can't be bothered to find out even the most cursory details of, and this man pretends to be ready for the office of the presidency. I get why people gravitate to him. I get the fact that he's a showman. I get the fact that he's very good at what he does. But I hope the American people understand what we're talking about here is our future as a nation, and this man clearly is not prepared to be the commander-in-chief of our armed forces.
So, Chris, I should mark you down as a no on this. I'm going to make note of that.
Yeah, who knows? This may be my last appearance if I keep going like this, but I got to tell you, there's nothing that's prepared me for the concept of Donald Trump as commander-in-chief. I don't know how to get my arms around it.
Steve, I mean, you know, you've been involved in law enforcement. You've been involved in the private sector. You know a lot of people.
And the military.
And the military. You disagree, though.
I absolutely disagree. Look, Donald Trump is well prepared. Look, I spent 25 years in the Office of Naval Intelligence, retired as lieutenant commander. So, you know what? He has the ability and he has the respect, which is so important, of foreign leaders. And I'll mention Vladimir Putin, for example. Look, there was a lot of talk and controversy, but
does Vladimir Putin respect him, or just like that he's boisterous?
He respects him because Donald Trump is putting the fear of God into enemies and potential enemies. It's called peace through strength, and that's what Donald Trump is epitomizing. That's what he is conveying to our allies and our foes, peace through strength.
I want to you this, Steve. I don't know if that's true or if that's not true. What I think is important, though, is Donald Trump is successfully selling a message that he can be the guy. And this is American politics. And so really the underlying truth of that, we don't really know until if and when he takes that first day in the White House. But his ability to hold command, Charles, we saw in this interview, we watched it, he just had these reporters eating out of the palm of his hand. I have really rarely seen a candidate on either side of the aisle in pretty much 8 years be able to have that temperament and have that control.
And there's no doubt he shifted, Eric. You know, he talked about his obligations, you know, to get along with people, to bring people together. I think he made a great point talking about President Obama. It has been a very divisive last 7 years, and people do want change.
There is no one more divisive than Donald Trump. He has insulted Muslims, he's insulted black people, he's insulted women. So he's the most divisive candidate in the last 10, 20 years that I have seen. So for him to say, oh, we want to include everyone, I doubt that one. I don't take that very seriously.
But he knows he has to. That's what Charles was saying before the break, right? You're not going to win. And he's actually taking a page out of the Obama campaign journal. We've got to have a broad coalition.
And he did use Obama's word. We hope and change.
Why
that's
don't we talk about the career politicians who have run this country into the ground, who have been very divisive?
But Donald Trump is not the answer.
Well, we'll see, guys. Right now,
no, he's not.
Right now, he's
a wrong answer.
He's the overwhelming favorite.